on Memories 96.5 FM, Uyo, the top stories. The federal government in ASU to meet on Wednesday over strike threat. Senate postpones a public hearing for NNPCL, Dangote and others. Oil marketers to import petrol as NNPCL, Dangote's talks drag. On the foreign scene, Algeria's incumbent president re-elected with 95% of votes. And in sports, Paralympics end with light show and dance party in Paris. We have details of these and other stories coming up in a moment. I am SHARON, MANDOR. And now the news in detail. As the world celebrates World Literacy Day on the theme promoting multilingual education for mutual understanding, the Director, Ministry of Education, Akwa Ibom State, Esther Ikudumo, has stated the benefits of multilingualism in education in the country and also encourage schools to teach children a lot of different languages. In an exclusive interview with Memories FM reporter Ofonisi Abasi Johnson, Ekudumo highlighted the benefits to include effective communication within and across the country, promotion of culture, and effective self-awareness.
I think it has helped a lot. First of all, if you are able to speak more than one language, you are able to fit into the society more. Looking at it global, you are able to communicate with people anywhere in the world. For instance, in your French now, you're out there, in any of the French-speaking countries, you will be lost. And again, we also see that a child who is able to learn more than one or two languages, in fact, will understand what is being taught. It promotes and preserves our culture. Learning a new language, in fact, expands your mind, your worldview. It opens your hand so many things. Put your confidence and increase your self-esteem. And I want to encourage all the schools to do their best to teach as many languages as possible.
Despite the benefits, she said, there are challenges facing multilingualism in schools across the country today and suggested steps to help ameliorate these challenges.
For you to teach somebody something, so you must know it very well. So one of the challenges we have is that we do not really have many teachers on ground who really know how to teach the subject very well. So one of the challenges is teachers not being trained as they ought to be, and then we are trying to teach children in BBO and at home is learning English all through. So if you don't have parental support, it's a challenge. And if you don't have a curriculum that really helps us in these different languages, it's a challenge. The way forward is to have more of teachers training for these other subjects apart from English or these other languages. Where we want to teach the BBO and other Nigerian languages, we should have people that have been well trained in this subject, in the languages, and then those developing curriculum give us a guide, because the curriculum is what helps in teaching the student. And we also need to encourage parents, use available means through the radio, PTA, every forum we have parents. We need to encourage them that at home children should be given opportunity to speak their local dialect.
The United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization, UNESCO, chose this year's topic, having seen the pressing need to harness the transformative potential of literacy for promoting mutual understanding, social cohesion, and peace. Committees are to resolve certain grey areas raised by the Academic Staff Union of Universities in an ultimatum issued close to 3 weeks ago, according to the Vice President ASU, Professor Chris Piuna, following the resolutions made at the end of a closed-door meeting held between ASU's leadership and the representatives of the Federal Ministry of Education, headed by Professor Tahir Maman. The committee will meet on Wednesday, the 11th of September 2024. The resolutions reached at the Union's National Executive Council meeting held at the University of Ibadan on the 19th of August 2024 indicate that public university lecturers threatened to go on a nationwide strike over the federal government's failure to honor the 2009 renegotiated agreement. In response to ASU's ultimatum, the Minister of Education, Tahir Maman, noted that most of the issues of contention dated as far back as 1981, adding that letters of invitation had been sent to the leadership of the union and other organizations and that their grievance was being attended to. The minister further appealed to ASU to be considerate and open-minded in their approach at the negotiation table so that the interests of all parties will be properly represented. The Minister of Finance, Wale Adun, has cleared the air on circulating reports that the value-added tax VAT rate has been increased from 7.5% to 10%. An official statement signed by the minister indicated that the VAT rate remains at 7.5% as stipulated by current tax laws, while insisting that the federal government nor any of its agencies will not condone what is contrary to what the laws stipulate. He added that the tax system stands on a tripod, namely tax policy, tax laws, and tax administration, with the three giving strength to the fiscal position of the government. He, however, added that it is on record that the federal government, as part of efforts to bring relief to Nigerians and businesses, recently ordered the stoppage of import duties, tariffs, and taxes on rice, wheat, beans, and other food items. It has postponed the public hearing for the alleged sabotage in the petroleum industry. The Senate explained that the hearing was postponed for wider consultations with stakeholders whose input and participation would add value to the conclusion of the investigative hearing. Some key stakeholders summoned to appear before the committee at a public hearing scheduled for the 10th to the 12th of September 2024 includes the Minister of State for Petroleum Resources, Senator Henikin Lebobiri, officials of the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, the Central Bank of Nigeria, the Nigerian Port Authority, among others. The upper chamber also cited legislative exigencies aimed at further deepening due diligence in conducting the investigative hearing as another reason for postponing it. The leader of the Senate and chairman of the Senate Ad Hoc Committee to investigate alleged economic sabotage in the Nigerian petroleum industry, Senator Kwemi Bambile, gave these reasons in a statement yesterday. Meanwhile, oil marketers have announced plans to take up importation of premium motor spirits following the recent declaration by the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited that it would only fully pick up the product from the Dangote Petroleum Refinery if the market prices of the commodity were higher than the pump prices in Nigeria. NNPC also declared that Dangote and other domestic refineries were free to sell directly to any marketer on a willing buyer, willing seller basis, adding that it had no desire or intention to become the distributor for any entity in a free market environment. Contrary to NNPC's view, Dangote, the owner of the $20 billion refinery, had stated that the refinery was waiting for NNPC, adding that the national oil company would be the only off-taker of its petrol domestically. Reacting to the slowdown in discussions between Dangote and NNPC, oil marketers stated that they would only source the product from wherever they found it cheaper, as this could be through importation. You're listening to Global News on Memories 96.5 FM, and now we proceed to the rest of the news. On the foreign scene, Algeria's electoral authority, ANI, says the incumbent president Abdelmajid Tebboune has been re-elected with almost 95% of the vote. Head of electoral body Mohamed Sharfi confirmed that out of 5.6 million voters recorded, 5.3 million voted for the independent candidate Abdelmajid Tebboune, accounting for 94.65% of the vote. Sharfi added that the election was marked by broad transparency and reflected the electoral maturity of the people, although he did not provide the official turnout. Tebboun's major challenge in a vote where his victory was all but certain. Tebboune, 78 years of age, was heavily favored to secure a second term in the race against moderate Islamist Abdel Ali Hassani, 57 years, and socialist candidate Youssef Auchiche, 41 years. Still on the foreign scene, state media outlets have made it known that Israeli missiles have killed at least 14 people in central Syria. The attack that happened last night generated a fire and caused material damage near the city of Masyaf in the Hama province, with 43 persons reportedly injured and a death toll of 5 as Israeli enemy launched an air aggression from the direction of northwestern Lebanon, targeting a number of military sites in the central region. Meanwhile, 2 regional intelligence sources say a major military research center for chemical arms production located near Masyaf had been hit several times, although a team of Iranian military experts involved in weapons production was believed to be working at the site. Cross-border hostilities between Hezbollah and Israeli have continued on a near daily basis. Cross-border hostilities between Hezbollah and Israel have continued on a near daily basis, with Hezbollah targeting military sites in northern Israel and Syria remaining in support of Palestinians in Gaza, where the ongoing Israeli offensive has killed more than 40,900 people. The Lebanese group has promised to continue its military operations until the war on Gaza ends, while Israeli officials have promised to push Hezbollah off the country's border, including by all-out war if necessary. And now in sport, the Paralympic Games have come to an end with an outstanding light show and dance party as the final routine of the competition that saw 2 world records fall. Chief Paris 2024 organizer and former gold medal winning canoeist Tony Estanguet, while addressing the closing ceremony at a packed Stade de France, made it known that the 6 weeks of the Paralympics will remain green in people's memories. Over 4,400 athletes from 168 Paralympic delegations partied to the best of French electronic dance music during the closing ceremony despite the rain. Earlier, Morocco's Fatima Ezahra El Idrissi smashed the world record in the women's marathon for runners with visual impairment, and China topped the medal table as it has at every Paralympics since 2004, with Great Britain second and the US third. Still talking sports, the Minister of Sport Development, Senator John Enoh, has congratulated the Super Eagles on their AFCON qualifier match against Benin Republic. Senator Enoh, who conveyed his message of felicitation via his X handle, described their performance as impressive. He also extended his congratulatory message to Bose Omolayo and Issa Ogunkule for their outstanding performances at the Paris 2024 Paralympic Games. Reacting to their achievements, Senator Enoh said, Bose Omolayo, Flora Ogunwa, and Issa Ogunkule have brought Nigeria immense pride and joy with their incredible performances on the global stage. The minister reaffirmed the government's commitment to supporting para-sport and ensuring that Nigerian athletes receive the backing they need to succeed on the international stage. And that's Global News on Memories 96.5 FM. But before we go, let's take a recap of the top stories. The federal government has set up committees to resolve certain grey areas raised by the Academic Staff Union of Universities in an ultimatum issued close to 3 weeks ago, according to the Vice President ASU, Professor Chris Piuna. Remember, we also told you that the Senate has postponed the public hearing for the alleged sabotage in the petroleum industry. And the oil marketers have announced plans to take up importation of premium motor spirits following the recent declaration by the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited that it would only fully pick up the product if the Dangote Petroleum Refinery and the market prices of the commodity were higher than the pump prices in Nigeria. On the foreign scene, Algeria's electoral authority, ANI, says the incumbent president Abdelmajid Tebboune has been re-elected with almost 95% of the vote. And in sport, the Paralympic Games have come to an end with an outstanding light show and dance party as the final routine of the competition that saw 2 world records fall. The news this afternoon was edited by Mfonobong Ekot and assisted by the production team. For views regarding our news or coverage of your newsworthy events, you can reach us on email via newsroom@memoriesmediang.com or call our newsroom hotline on 0909 000 0581. You can also follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Memories965FM. And now let's take you down memory lane. On this day in 2015, Queen Elizabeth II became the longest reigning monarch in British history, surpassing Victoria's record reign of 63 years and 216 days. Now that's news. Thank you for listening. I am Sharon Mandor. Good afternoon and have a productive week ahead.